Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday. It is a pleasure to be with you again. Now, this is Dr. Yonnette coming to you with another episode of Baby Talk. And today we are talking about developing a plan. What's your sensory diet? What's your sensory protocol? What are you going to use with your child that has these sensory issues? You know, we have spent a lot of time going over the different types of sensory issues that children may present with. So now that we have covered those, let's develop a plan that we can use to help the child. So first, you want to look at what the sensory plan will be. The sensory plan that you're developing certainly will not be a separate piece of paper or activity that is outside of what the child would have to do. It is not just brushing the child. It is not just incorporating sensory strategies that are meaningful and that are natural. It is actually incorporating sensory strategies that are meaningful, that are natural, that are individual and habitual. And the sensory strategies that we use with a child must be child-centered. So let's categorize these behaviors that we were talking about and put them into 4 groups. And then we can address the behaviors using those 4 groups. 1, when do you see the behavior? Is it in what category do you see the behavior? Is it a movement issue? Is it an avoidance and retreat issue? Is it a difficulty with routines and academics? Or is it a social, emotional issue? Let's put the behaviors in those 4 categories and then address them from there. So, where do you see the behaviors? Do you see the behaviors in the classroom? Do you see the behaviors outside on the playground, or when the child is in a line, or when the child is leaving school? Do you see the behaviors at music or art when if your child is at home and you are dealing with art or you're playing music? Do you see the behaviors when the child has to transition to another location or another individual? Do you see the behaviors when there are lots and lots of people around in crowded areas at lunchtime, or if you go to a restaurant or the child is at lunch at school? Do you see those behaviors happening? So let's look at the movement issue. If we were talking about movement, if the child is appearing to be aware of his or her body and the stimuli that are coming through in his or her environment, if the child becomes defensive to touch, and then if the child is labeled as aggressive, those are the movement issues that we want to look for and label. Okay, the child appears under-responsive or unaware about his body and the stimuli that are coming through from his or her environment. The child is defensive to touch. The child appears hyperactive or a sensory seeker, or the child appears to be aggressive towards his or her peers. So the movement issue that you may see when it comes to movement, the behavior you may see will include behaviors like these. The child is out of their seat. You know, he or she should be sitting and he's always walking around. The child is a wiggler, wiggling around. The child fidgets. And you want to ask yourself, why is this behavior occurring? The answer to that question will be that a child is craving movement, and the child is doing that perhaps to maintain a state of arousal. See, so all the movement, think of yourself. When you're about to like fall asleep, you start moving, you start fidgeting, you do things to keep yourself aroused and awake. So what are the solutions that you will use in this situation? Give movement breaks. Give movement breaks. 10 minutes on the work, 5 minutes break. And build those movement breaks throughout the child's day. Allow the child to stand when working instead of sitting all the time. So you mix it up. Sometimes standing, sometimes sitting. Give the child hand fidget, things that the child can fidget with in his or her hands, so that will keep the child awake. You want to give the child a seat cushion. Seat cushion will also help the child to move and fidget around. Use oral strategies. Have a bottle of water with a straw so the child can suck, and that would help arouse the child's oral and general arousal. And then you also want to do calm breathing. Do some calm breathing, deep breathing exercises to help this child. All right. So that's the first section of our movement issues. When we are looking at developing a sensory program or a sensory diet that you can use with the child throughout the child's day at different intervals of the day, so you can keep that child aroused and involved and successful throughout his or her day. Now, you have been doing an awesome job taking care of baby. Your baby is growing and becoming stronger and wiser as you have been receiving all this valuable information and sharing it with him or her. I encourage you to continue to take care of baby, take care of you, and share your experiences, share your joys, your concerns, your questions with me so that I can respond to them. For you to share them with me, you need to join my Facebook page, Skincare Explosion with Dr. Yonnette, and I'll respond to your questions. I am also going to put up a sensory diet, a sample sensory diet that you can use on my Skincare Explosion page. So remember to join my page so that you can have access to all this information. I'm so happy you joined me today, and I look forward to hearing from you. This is Dr. Yonnette saying have a fantastic Thursday.